If you guys have any questions while I'm talking, just throw them in the chat and I'll kind of answer as I go. So I'll introduce myself for the people who haven't really spoken to me. My name is Kayla. I am your Diamond Leader. I've been in this company for, it'll be a year tomorrow actually. And I invited you guys because you guys are, you're leading a team, okay? Or you're trying to, and I think that comes with a whole new bunch of challenges versus like posts and messaging and, you know, following up. Now you have to teach people how to be successful at the same thing that you're doing, okay? So in my business, I'll tell you a little bit of background. Actually should probably, am I recording this? I am recording this, okay. When I first started, I joined for an extra $200 a month because I needed a car payment in order to stay at home with Wade. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom because daycare was, thanks. Daycare was too expensive, and I wanted to do something else with my life. I had been doing this like 9 to 5 for 2 years, and I wasn't really happy there. I had tried to promote at this job, and I felt like I excelled, and I just wasn't going anywhere. So I quit. I quit, and I didn't come back, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be a mom. So 3 months later, our savings were draining, and I either had to get my act together and go find a full-time job doing nights or waitressing, or I could do something like this from home because I had actually tried a different marketing company before this and it didn't work out. So this was different. This is everything that I could do via social media. And I didn't have to meet face to face. The last place that I had done like business with, it was all face to face and I just wasn't comfortable with it. And I think I got like 2 customers out of that 7 months I was in the business. It just wasn't the right fit for me. So I tried this, and my first month I enrolled 20 customers. 20 customers, and that was not like an easy thing, okay? So when you first join, the biggest thing that like I get you started on, or any of my teammates started, like, is you want to get your first 4 loyal customers so that when you start to grow your team, you can teach them how to get their first 4. And this is kind of like what you get paid to do. It's where you get qualified for all of your bonuses. It's just where the money flow starts to come in. So I got 20 my first month. And I was actually only in for like 15 days. I joined in the middle of the month. So I got 20 customers. And how I did that is I messaged everybody you could think of. Okay, like people I knew from college, people I knew from high school, people I knew from when I was like 3. Just really stupid excited about this opportunity, and I was like, hey, could you help me out and show me some support and love and whatever. And people were like, you know, not everybody would respond, and I got used to that. Okay, I was super actually scared to message because that's what I was afraid to join for, but I figured I would prefer something like that than have to do it face to face. And if I want to create a business and be successful as an entrepreneur, I got to do one or the other. You know what I mean? So I decided to go social media, and I just messaged my heart out, and I got the 20 customers. And then my next month, let me see. My next month, I reached the 400 club. Like, I took it step by step. I wasn't really prepared to grow my team right after 4 customers. I was super, super shy. I went live for my first time, and it had over 1,000 views because Sarah Neerman had shared it to our team page and to her like homepage. So like everybody had saw me, and it was just this like huge adrenaline rush for me because I'm like so shy. I was like, hey, talking about these products and why I joined, and I got such positive feedback for being myself.
Go to bed.
For being myself and putting myself out there and being like, you can't talk me out of this kind of thing, okay? Like, I have to do this for me and my family. And I was still messaging for LCs when I got my first teammate other than my husband. My husband was so, so sweet. He joined in May, and I ended up getting his first 4 customers and got an oil set with his kit, and I sold all of his wraps. So we ended up making like an extra $100, and I got a bonus off of it. I do not recommend doing this though. It's a lot of work, okay, to like run your boyfriend's, your husband's, or whatever business, because it's going to be all you. So that means twice the messaging. I ended up getting him to the 400 club, and I was like, oh, okay, now what do I do? And this person came along and she joined my team. And how you get started in this business is you get 2 qualified legs under you and you reach your first promotion, okay? And they have to get 400 in group volume sales. And then you've reached your first promotion. If that doesn't make sense, just shoot me a question about it. It's a lot of technicalities I didn't really want to go into. But I got a distributor, and I taught her how to do what I was doing. And we ended up, I promoted that month. I promoted for the first time that month. And then the next month I promoted myself to Ruby. I ended up gaining some momentum, and I got some more customers, and or not customers, but distributors. I was like killing it with life posts, okay? I was talking to a lot of people, and if they told me that they couldn't afford the products, I offered the business. Like, I couldn't afford the products either, so why not give them the same opportunity that somebody else gave me? You know what I mean? So it's just an option. They don't have to say yes, they can just think about it. And then what I do is I would post life posts talking about how this business was transforming my life. And even if it wasn't yet, like in the very beginning, I was saying it was going to. I was saying it was going to take me to Disney. I said it was going to take me to a new house. It was going to build my dream garage. Just give me all of these awesome, awesome things. And I'm telling you, not even 3 months later, like, we got a big house. We were able to afford this place. We were able to, we got the garage, like the dream garage that's literally up on my dream board that like has I could just picture myself doing all this stuff because of this business. And I put it out there in my post. I didn't say I might do it. I said I was going to do it, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer. So that inspired other people to do it. There's somebody on this team who joined my team because she had watched my posts consecutively since I had joined, and she didn't like a single post. She didn't comment on any of it. She had known me in high school, and she didn't really have a good opinion about me, and she stayed away. But one day she was like, hey, I really need to make some money. Can you tell me more about this? And that's all it took. Like, people are watching your posts, so whether or not you have a ton of comments or likes or anything like that, it doesn't matter. Like, that's all irrelevant. So just keep posting those kinds of things. That's how you get distributors, and you just talk to people in the masses. Now, when you grow your team, it's a whole different story. You are hold on a second. You are now teaching somebody else to do this, and it's kind of like really exciting, and then it's really scary. Okay, like, it's really scary because you're like, oh, I don't want to send them in the wrong direction. I don't want to make them quit. What if I'm a bad leader? Like, what, am I ready for this? Because when I joined, I didn't see myself as a leader. Like, I didn't see myself doing all of this stuff right now, or getting on Zoom, or even doing Facebook Live. But you grow into that person. They taught me at an early stage in this business to self-develop. And what that means is, if you have to, like, look at other successful people, find somebody that relates with you. Like, there are people in this industry, specifically with It Works, that I watched their YouTube trainings. I watched how they spoke, what they said, what they talked. I follow them on Facebook and Instagram like a hawk. Like, they touch something in my heart, and like, I just relate so well. And you know what? They came from the bottoms of like all hell. So I'm ready to just do the same thing and have that awesome comeback story. Like, I want that. And I want to inspire other people to do that, because there is so much more out there for us. Okay. Like, when I joined this business, I didn't realize how much I needed it until like a year later, when I'm looking back and I'm like, I was so miserable. I was so unhappy with my life, with my friends, with my family, with money. It was all of it. And now everything is just kind of like falling together, and I'm not afraid that it's going to go wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm that person that is always like expecting something bad to happen. And now, because of this business and how it has transformed me and my life and my friendships and just how I look and feel about life, I don't think that way anymore. I'm like, wow, I have serious, endless possibilities. I went to conference and I met Sarah Rankin, who is she's amazing. She's very blunt. She joined this business because she was at the gym and some woman who she didn't know was bigger than her told her about this skinny wrap, and she wanted to prove her wrong. So she bought a wrap and did this party with her, and she was amazed by the results, and she ended up joining. She was like, hey, I have my hands on like $1 million idea. I need to run with this. So she did, and she went through a lot of obstacles and didn't reach the top until 6 years later. It took her, like, she was living out of her truck when she joined. So I met her at conference, and she treated me like her best friend, and she was humble, and she was like, you know, don't give up. Like, I want to sit next to you next month or next year when we're at conference again. Like, you have everything in you. And I came home and I was I kind of hit like a mental block when I came home from conference. I needed to really like get my stuff together and believe in myself, because for a long time I've always told myself, like, I can't have this, this, and this. I can't be happy for this reason, or this reason, because of the stuff that has happened way, way in the past. Like, I've never been successful. I've never made a ton of money from my phone doing social media. So what makes me think that I can do it now? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get in the mindset that like anything is possible. So I literally soaked up as much podcasts or Les Brown speeches, motivational stuff as I could. And then I just got to work. I started talking better to myself, and I started teaching my team to do this. Because at the end of the day, we all joined, but this can be fun. Okay, you can make money and you can have fun doing that. I actually love growing my team now, because I feel like I get to know all of you just a little bit each time. Because we all go through these crazy like ups and downs in our business, and I'm definitely going to tell you, it's not like this straight and narrow all the time. You're going to be like super, super excited to sign a DT, and then, you know, there is going to be somebody who quits like right off the bat because somebody scared them. It happens. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, like, I hit a roadblock in my business because of that stuff. And I don't want you to do that. It's all in your head. If somebody quits, it has nothing to do with you. If somebody doesn't want this business and wants to drag their feet and not answer to you in your messages or your team chats, and they want to block you, whatever the case may be, after they're joining, let them go. They are a teachable moment. Like, whether or not they come into your business and they succeed and run with it, or they just get it, they are there for a reason. Like, all of those people have taught me something. It also taught me not to quit. It was so stupid. There's some people who quit like right before it could be so great. I actually lost rank, okay? So before I went diamond, I went emerald in November. I went emerald in November, and it was so hard, guys. Like, emerald was, ugh, I don't even like to talk about it. It was so frustrating. It took me forever to figure out how to create something called layered leadership. So now, okay, when you join my team, I'm going to teach you how to train your new DTs. And let's say, okay, I've got so-and-so, I've got a DT, and I'm placing distributors underneath them, I'm going to introduce them and I'm going to teach this person how to lead this person. I'm going to pair them together. I'm going to like create this really fun and exciting team. Like you can, I don't know, you can feel the energies on both sides. If like one's hyped up and one's like kind of having a slump, a, it's kind of a crazy ride. I enjoy it. But I feel like I got off on a tangent. I'm sorry. There's like specific stuff I have to talk about today, but I have ADD and this is like my first real team leader Zoom, so bear with me. But I hit this slump, okay, in November, and I lost rank. I lost rank in December after Emerald, so I went back down to Ruby, and instead of it like breaking my heart, I pushed harder that month and it actually thanked me for the month after. So I had everything set for, like I was charted for diamond, but I just needed to focus on volume and it looked so far away 2 weeks into the month, okay? And if by now, how I work my business, if I need distributors for my charts or for other people's charts to help them promote, because that's what this is about. You want to help as many people promote as possible. You want to teach them how to do what you're doing to be successful and then train them to train other people to do it so that we're all doing it in a mass like amount. And it's a business. That's kind of, you want all these working parts. So I spent a lot of time like in December focusing on that, and I ended up, because I had screwed up and I had lost rank, I ended up being charted for my next promotion. I just needed to focus on the volume and I did it. Like I did it. It was finally like, okay, I can do this. And just don't give up. I got my rank back and then it just all kept coming in and it just kept going, and it was just the momentum that you got to keep up with. Now, so I know some of you guys have newbies, and either maybe you are or your newbies are feeling a little discouraged because distributors are hard. Okay, so when you're growing your team, DTs take more time than loyal customers. Okay, loyal customers, it's just you purchase a product. When you ask somebody to be on your team, it's definitely almost always going to take more time. That's a commitment. That's a commitment that, it's kind of like a little fun job or whatever you want to call it, but it's going to help you make money, but it's going to take a new routine and it's a change. So it's harder for people to do that. Life posts and just keeping in contact with people. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody, they've been a potential, we just have friendly conversations and I still continue to interact with them, and then all of a sudden months down the road something happens and they're like, I'm finally ready to do this. Sometimes people just need the right time. I joined with Sarah Nierman 6 months after she had first messaged me, and I didn't comment, I didn't let her know I even existed. Like I wanted to stay as like down below the radar level for as long as I could. So that's what I did, and then I joined when the time was right for me. Like I had watched and she was doing extremely well, so I knew that there was value in something like this. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about what happens when I grow my team. So when I get a distributor. When I get a distributor, my first and like foremost priority is getting them their first post, okay? And then getting them messaging for loyal customers, because with their first 4 loyal customers, they're gonna get qualified for all of their bonuses. They're gonna get that $100 shopping spree. It's a really, really good like win-win situation. Like you're also gonna get a bonus. So you just wanna teach them, okay? If somebody is scared to message, talk to your upline. Like, if you want to, talk to me. If you're new at it and you're scared and you don't know how to respond to that, just talk. It's more so like I just speak to them from the heart. I've worked in retail before, okay? This is no different than me asking, somebody if they want to purchase the product that's on the counter in front of me, or if they want to see the dessert menu after dinner. It's not that big of a deal. I'm offering somebody something. If they want to say yes or no, that's totally on them. If they don't want to respond, that's cool too. It's just an offering. I'm not like holding the gun up to their head saying, buy my products or we're no longer friends. I don't know. That's just, it's not that big of a deal. So you got to, if you plan to make money, this is how we're going to do it. Or you can launch a launch party. Like if people are really freaked out about messaging, fine. We can do, if you're not going to do messaging, then you better be like talking in person, because you can't run a business not talking to people. Like you have to network. Once they get their first 4 loyal customers, I will show them their charts, usually an executive chart. If they have a distributor that either I placed under them or they've gotten under them and they just like don't really know how charts work, I will show them. I will show them that. I'll give them numbers. I will calculate that. If you don't know how to calculate charts, you can always talk to me. It's not too hard. It's just a lot of math. I chart in the very beginning of the month, on the 1st, and then I keep track of it every single day through eSuite. I look at declined cards. I also check my downline activity to see who is enrolling and who is not enrolling. And then I also check in with everybody every day. I check in and I ask like my leaders, like, hey, what's going on? How's your team? Like, how's everybody feeling? Because we all need different things. I'm all about feelings and I need a lot of self-development. There are some people who want help specifically on posts or messaging. Like in the very beginning, I had no idea how to create my own posts. So I would ask Sarah. I would figure out, which leaders I enjoyed following. I would go to their pages, follow their pages. I would actually copy their posts and then make their stories my own. I changed the words around until I got familiar with how to do the life posts or the product posts, and kind of learned as I went. My biggest tip for you guys is make sure you're working your own business. Okay, that's another thing that I keep seeing is that we get so caught up in helping our teams that we're not spending any time on our business. So when I'm having times where I'm like frustrated and I feel like my business is kind of like I will be honest with myself. I will take out my planner, see how many names I have, and if I don't have a lot, I got to be asking myself, like, why am I not messaging? Like, what's going on? Is my routine off? Am I just being lazy? Do I feel crummy? Am I in a bad mood? And then I reach out for the proper help, because if you don't, you're going to stay in that slump. Like, if I'm feeling like super frustrated with, because you're going to have times where you're frustrated with your team too. You're going to be like, what's going on? This is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so many weird things will happen all at once when you're trying to promote that you don't see it coming. And it's all normal stuff. You gotta reach out though. Like, which reminds me, reaching out to your uplines. So if you guys as leaders, okay, you all have group chats, right? If you guys aren't gonna be in those group chats, let your uplines know. Because what like I personally do is you let me know that, you can't be in the group chat from 7 to 9 because you have like some kind of something going on at home. I will keep an eye on that group chat so that your DTs aren't feeling left out or hanging, because I don't want anybody to feel like, do you know what I mean? As a brand new distributor, you're already scared and you think that you have to answer right away. If you don't, like, that person's gone forever. Like, that's how I used to feel. I'm like, Sarah, what are you doing? Why are you taking so long to respond back to me? Because it's okay every now and then, but if it's like continuously happening and then all of a sudden your DT quits because like their leaders aren't really paying attention, it's a problem, you know? So we just want to like, I just know that that's what I do, and it has always helped. I've always been like, hey, Sarah, can you watch what's going on? And she'd help out if like I was out. Because there were a few instances where like, hey, I'm in the hospital with my dad, and he's got some stuff going on, and can you just keep an eye on the team? So what else did I want to talk about? If you're not enrolling, it's super hard to teach your team how to enroll. That was, you gotta get into you gotta just work. You gotta get into a good vibe. Messaging for me, like I have to be either listening to music and in a room totally by myself. Like I can't, and I have to pretty much mute my phone from notifications or I won't send out my messages. I'll just keep replying to everybody and keep replying to everybody, and I get sidetracked. You know what I mean? Then I'm not working my own business. So I send out my messages and then I'll do like a quick post and then I'll talk to my teams and then I'll respond to the other people that I had messaged. That way I kind of have like a time going on for my business. I haven't really, I guess, talked about it on video of like how I lead my team and how I work my business every day. I have a crazy schedule and not every day looks the same for me. Some mornings I can get up and it'll be like 6:30 and I feel on fire and I can take a shower and I can get ready for the day and I can message. And then other days, it takes me until like 8:30 to get out of bed because I stayed up till 4 o'clock the night before and was working my business, or I was just scrolling through Instagram and I got sidetracked. Sorry guys, my thing's gonna end in 10 minutes, so we can either like jump back on if I'll do a question so that you guys have any questions, we can all talk freely. So you guys can ask me questions, like we don't have to go through the chat. I'm pretty open and like casual about all this. So I don't remember what I was saying, my ADD. I know I was talking about if you're not enrolling, how can you teach your team? And I don't know where I led from that. And I got distracted for 10 minutes. Keto coffee is not helping tonight, guys. I haven't drank enough yet. How I work my business. So, like today. Today was a team day. Today I spent a lot of time talking to people one-on-one and seeing how everything was going and getting like, I don't know, it's the second half of the month and I get really excited for the second half. And this is when I like go, go, go. I want to go, go, go. But tonight will be my message night. So I'll send out my messages before bed, and I run Captivate and Cleaner for following friends and stuff on Instagram just because I don't really have the time during the day. I'm not gonna lie. I would much rather spend my time messaging or talking and interacting with people. I spend a lot of time on my Instagram stories, but those are so quick and easy that it's like mindless stuff. It's literally like posting my life. So every time I have, like, if you were to check my Instagram right now, I talked about my keto coffee right before the training. That's all it takes. Like I just incorporate this business into my life, and then I'm trying to teach my team to do the same thing. And just roll through the motions of it. Like if this is something you see yourself doing for a long time, like you're going to do the same things all the time. You're going to enroll distributors and customers. So don't get caught up on the people who are, you know, dragging their feet or they want to quit. Like sometimes just the timing is not right and you never know, like they could come back. I've had that happen. I've had somebody quit and then sign up 3 months later with my team again. It's just, or somebody else joins a different team and they join my team 3 months later. Had that happen as well. Does anybody have any questions? Like, I can unmute you guys. Hold on. Okay. You guys are all unmuted, so if you have any questions, shoot me. Nothing? Maybe they're not all unmuted? What is that? Okay, guys. Well, it looks like this is going to end, and if nobody's got any questions, I'll leave this. But we'll do this again next week. So if you have people feeling discouraged, if you're having questions about growing your team, if you have questions about life post in general, or your own emotions kind of going through all of this, like, send me a message and we can talk about it. If that's what I'm here for.
Sit, Bailey.